face doesn't look familiar. And I've scoured this town enough to know that every face I see is one I know. You have kind of an unusual one. It sticks out. If I had seen you before, I would have remembered you. When did you get here? Really? I have a question for you. You don't look familiar to me, but do I look familiar to you? Be honest. There's a reason that I'm asking. Somewhat. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't run into my sister. I have a twin sister. We nearly look identical. Except there's one obvious difference about us. I just need to talk to you a little more before I can feel it. Okay, are you lying about how long you've been here? Okay. It's just unusual. Not too many people come to this town. There's a reason for that, but again, I can't really share that right now. And you swear you've never spoken to anyone that looks like me before. I'm just trying to gauge whether you're lying or not. I have a pretty good lie detector built into my system. Don't mind the town cat. We have a lot of those. It's not the first one you'll hear, and it won't be the last. Focus on this conversation. One thing my sister does is she tends to greet newcomers quite early on. She's pretty fast, I'll give her that. I'm surprised she hasn't gotten to you yet. If she actually hasn't gotten to you. I still have my doubts about whether you're being honest or not. Because I know how secretive she is and how she tells people to be just as secretive when she tells them things. You see, my sister has a habit of offering things to new people. If you catch my drift. No, not that kind of thing. She offers something better, something more permanent. Have you gotten any offers since you came to this town? Are you sure about that? Were you not warned to stay away from certain people? Certain people that are in a group that start with the letter H. Does that sound familiar to you? Let's just dive in then. My sister. How do I even begin to describe my sister? She loves to offer things, supernatural type of things. I know, it sounds off. It is off. She promises to make people things like witches, vampires, wolves, ghosts, pretty much anything you can think of that's paranormal. I know. She takes them into some deep, dark cave, some type of tunnel. We haven't figured out where yet. We've only gotten a little information. But when she's there, evidently, she promises them the world. Are you sure she hasn't done that with you? So you're telling me that you 100% have no idea what I'm talking about? I want to believe you, but I just fail to see how my sister could miss you. If I could find you, then surely she could, and probably first. First. But if you're being honest, and it's true that you haven't seen her, and you haven't been promised anything, and more importantly, you haven't accepted anything, then I have an offer of my own for you. You see, there's kind of a battle between two beings here, the human being and the supernatural being. Most people, well, they want to pick the supernatural because they think it'll give them some kind of enhanced power. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But the problem is that's not the kind of power that you want to have. It's not the kind of power that anyone wants to have. It's better to be human. Wouldn't you agree? If she came to you and offered you the chance to be anything you dreamed of that was supernatural, would you take it? It's okay to be honest. I'm just here to convince you not to. Unless it's already too late. Is it too late? I can't tell yet with you. I just met you. I'm still trying to get a good rating on you. Well, if it's not too late, the other side of this coin are the hunters. I'm one of them. What we do is we make it our priority to protect the town from those creatures. Those creatures that my sister insists on making more of. Really, we're the heroes of this story. And if she told you otherwise, she was lying to you. But you shouldn't be surprised. Creatures do tend to lie. They are dark creatures after all. If she hasn't infected you yet, you still have a chance. You could be one of us. You could help us protect the town from them. Even if you're lying, and she has met you already, and you know where she is, you could protect the town by telling us. Although, if I had to guess, I would assume that she didn't let you know where you were, so that you wouldn't be able to tell anyone. She's a very, very smart cookie. You might think that just because she's my sister, that if I saw her, I would give her a pass. Let her go. We are twins after all. But I wouldn't. I care more about this town than those that are trying to corrupt it. And my sister is definitely trying to corrupt it. Have you met her? Be honest. What did she promise you? You have to know that it was full of half-truths. You will be more powerful on our side than you could ever be on theirs. And you would be on the right side of history if you fought for us and not for them. She probably told you things about having allies in human form. But that's not true. Those wouldn't be your allies, they would be your co-conspirators. I'm telling you, anything she told you that made it look like the supernatural were the good guys was false. They're not. I know you've probably heard storybooks or have seen movies about these kind of creatures, and they're true. They're just as troublesome as they're shown to be. And if she told you that they were misunderstood, or the true, innocent, pure things in the world, well, you know she was lying, right? I know you're probably standing there wondering who to believe, me or her. What does your gut instinct tell you? Who do you think is more trustworthy? You can be honest. I'm being honest right now. That's something my sister is incapable of being. She doesn't care about you, and she doesn't want to help you. Her goal is to make as many of these creatures as possible so that they can take over the town and cause chaos and destruction. Don't help her do that. Help us stop it. There's many of us, maybe more of us than there are of them, at least in this town. And we have the ability to put a stop to it all. But we need to know more information. We just don't have enough right now. You see, they blend in. They all look like humans. Every single one of them. Until transformation takes over. And even then, when they turn into whatever form that they're going to be, you wouldn't even know who it was in the daytime because they look nothing like they do as human. They're almost impossible to track, which is why we need so much help tracking them. She probably told you that we take people and we force them to tell us things. Probably that we pressure information out of them, if you know what I'm saying. That's not true either. We're not the villains here. We just want to protect the purity of this town. We can't let her continue to destroy it. She probably told you all about wolves, werewolves to be specific, alphas, betas, omegas. I bet she even broke down each category for you so that you could pick the most appealing one. And I bet if she did, she really put emphasis on what it was to be an alpha wolf so that you would want to be one. Because you know what happens when there's a lot of leaders in one place, don't you? Fights break out. Only one person wants to rule all the others, and all you get from that equation is trouble. My sister thrives off of creating trouble. That's what makes us different. She wants to harm the world, and I want to help it. Starting with this town. So, I'll ask you again. Have you spoken to my sister? You can be honest. Just tell me if you spoke to her. It's a simple question. There's no wrong answer. I just want the truth from you. I want you to be as upfront as I'm being with you. Because I'm telling you now, I'm not lying to you. I know you can sense that. I know you can sense the difference between me and her. And I know that you have to know that all I want to do is help. Nothing good can come from the inhuman. Nothing. Think about it. What purpose would you fulfill as a wolf, a vampire, a witch, a wizard, a warlock, a ghost, any other creature that you could possibly think of? What good could you bring? All that I've listed, you know that they're not good. You know that they seek to cause trouble. If they didn't, there would be no need for them. And if they didn't, we would all be living happily together, right? They have urges that they can't control. And that's what makes them troubled. That's why it's not safe to have them around, and why we need to contain them. Wouldn't you agree? Think of your friends, family, loved ones, walking around this town not knowing what was out there. What unleashed beast was roaming the streets, the woods, something that could come out at any time at night and get them, and they wouldn't even be able to defend themselves. Does that scare you? It should. It scares me to think about. I don't want anybody that I love, or even anybody in general, being harmed. And that's why we exist as the hunters of these supernatural creatures. There's a lot of us. Mainly, our families have passed down to us from generation to generation these rules. They taught us, they trained us. My sister wanted more. She grew up in a hunter household, but she wanted to be different. She wanted power. She wanted chaos. I know that you can probably feel or sense a dark energy when you're around her. And if you haven't met her yet, you will. You'll sense that energy. And it won't be pretty. If you see us, out, and you're confused on who's who, all you have to do is come near us. You'll sense that my energy is pure. While you'll sense that ours is dark, destructive. true. You say you haven't seen her though, so I guess time will tell. If you can tell the difference when it happens. You will see her at some point. She's a staple of this town. I just, I wish I could see her. I wish I could have a conversation with her. But it doesn't matter now, it's too late. She is whatever she is. She didn't tell you though, did she? I know you said you didn't talk to her, but I have a sinking gut feeling that you did, and you're just too scared to tell me. But I'll just keep talking as if you did, so that if you actually did, I can get my point across, and if you didn't, then you'll know what lurks beneath her surface. But I bet if you did meet her, she probably told you that she couldn't tell you what she was, out of concern for safety, right? And I know that had to have sounded like BS to you. It would to me. It would to anyone. And that's because it is. I told you instantly what I was. and who I fought for. Why can't she? It's because it's darker than she wants you to know. She doesn't want you to know that it's the bad side. She wants you to keep thinking it's the good side. That's why she'll tell you things like she can't tell you yet. Or she'll tell you things like, you all have to protect each other, and you have to keep your mouth shut. Well, I'm here to tell you the opposite. That keeping your mouth shut about this is the worst thing that you could do. Don't keep your mouth shut. Open it and confess what you know. You could help save all of us. Maybe if you don't know where the tunnel or the cave is, you could tell me about what you saw down there, your surroundings, whether you saw her or others, and if you became something, you can be honest and tell me what you became. I won't do anything to you. I told you, I'm here to help. I can help you. You're not too far gone if you just transformed. If you just made the change, there's still time. I could possibly help you turn back, but I would need to know what you were first. Don't be scared to tell me. It's okay. I can understand the draw to be something more powerful than you are, or more powerful than what you were. Everybody seeks power. Everybody wants to be strong. It's okay if you wanted that. It's okay if when it was waved in front of you, you took it. But what's not okay is to lie to me about it. I can only help you if you help me. So, help me to help you. Tell me, what did she promise you? What did you become? It's safe here. Look around. It's just us. There's nobody lurking in the dark spaces of caves like I'm sure they were when she just spoke to you. I'm sure that when she talked to you, you had to worry about who was listening and what would come out. You don't have to worry about that here. Nothing is going to leap out at you. It's just us, you and me, and we can figure this out together. I know we just met, But if you were going to trust me or my sister, I would urge you to trust me. I know it seems unlikely, after what she probably told you, that I'm being truthful, and trustworthy. But I am. I'm a combination of both. That's why I almost said a combined word. You believe me, don't you? You have to believe me. I'm telling you, if you continue to protect her, you're on the wrong path. You can make this right. All you have to do is tell me what you are. If you're being truthful and you're not anything, and you're simply a mere human, then I have an offer for you. So listen clearly and listen carefully. I want you to be one of us. Yes, a hunter. One of us who stops what's going on in town, who protects the town. You know that thing I told you about families and generation, and how we all were trained to be what we are now. I need to be honest with you. Even though I didn't recognize your face, I knew who you were. I looked you up in the town records. I saw your name. I know who you come from. Your family. They were hunters too, of the supernatural. I bet she didn't tell you that. And I guarantee you, I promise you she knew it. She wanted to cause conflict, so she didn't tell you what your family was. But they were what we are. Hunters. They stopped the supernatural. It's in your blood, it's in your name. It's in your history, in your bones, to be what we are. I can prove it. I have documentation of family members with your last name. You can see photos, I'm sure you'll recognize them. Maybe your great grandpa. No, for sure your great grandpa and your great grandma. Even your grandpa and grandma. They won't tell you. They wouldn't tell you. But they were. All of us are. This is in your bloodline to continue. The supernatural isn't. You need to believe me, and you need to fight on the right side of history here. If you are with them, you're against us, and you don't want to be against us. It's the worst place you could be. Because I'm going to be as honest with you as I've been this whole conversation. We are going to win. They will lose. I promise you that. Our whole lives are dedicated to making sure that they lose. Because if they lose, the entire town wins. Don't you see that? Can't you understand that? I know you can. I told you, it's not too late to make changes if you accepted our offer. But if you're being truthful, and you haven't even seen her, and you're just normal human being, then we need you on our side. We need you to fight for us. We need you to do what your family started. Can you do that? Can you help us? Better yet, will you help us? It'll take some training. We'll need you to stay here with us, train day in and day out. We can teach you how to use certain tools. We can teach you how to track. We can teach you how to keep yourself safe and keep others safe. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding, and it's worth it. It's worth it to keep your loved ones safe and yourself. We need you. Just point blank period, we need you. So will you help us? You will. You're not gonna double agent us, are you? You're not gonna try to work for us just to feed intel to them, are you? Because if you are gonna do that, and you are actually one of them, then I urge you to play this the opposite way and be a double agent for us against them. Be with them and feed us intel on what they're doing, what they're planning, where they are. You see, you're useful to us in both scenarios, both as a human and a supernatural creature. I bet she told you that if we saw you, we would dispose of you on the spot. That's not true though, is it? You know that now. Because I bet she told you that if we even suspected that you were supernatural, we would have done away with you. And I've already suspected that you are, and I have not touched you. In fact, all I've done is try to reassure you that I want to be on the same side. That's all I want. Us to fight together, not against each other. I bet she told you the opposite. I bet she told you that if you fought against her, she would make sure that something happened to you. I would never say that, because even if you are supernatural, I can still try to save you. You're not too far gone. The effects wouldn't even kick in yet, it's too early. Depending on what you are, of course, if you are anything at all. But I told you to trust me, so I'm gonna do you a favor and trust you too. I'm gonna believe that everything you say to me is the truth. I'm gonna show you that you can trust me by me trusting you. And I hope that's enough to convince you where your loyalty should lie and on which side you should be. I just hope it's enough. I know she probably warned you against the Argents. I hope you to believe her. I'm not an Argent, but I know of them, and I know them. They're good people. They're not what she's telling you they are. All they want to do is ensure the safety of this town and the people who reside in it. I work with the Argents. Don't let that scare you. We're the good guys. We are the good guys. I promise you that. And if you're with us, you can be one too. So tell me, honestly, if you had to choose, and I shouldn't say if, because you do have to choose. There's just no other way. You have to choose. Which side are you going to be on? Ours or theirs? You can only choose one. Only the right one. Do not choose wrong. This is important. You need to understand the severity of this situation. Things are not okay right now, but they can be if you help to make them so. So, can we trust you? Can we trust you to fight for us? To fight for your family's generational purpose? Or will you be like my sister, the black sheep? Will you take the route of trying to have more power than what any human being needs? Don't make the wrong choice. I beg you. Our families, they worked together in the past, and I want to work with you now in the present and in the future. I want to fight side by side with you. I want to stop the destruction. It needs to be stopped. I know if she got to you first, you're gonna think that everything I'm saying to you is a ploy, a lie, a villainous story. But it's not. Everything I've told you has been the truth. I need you to know that what she promised you, if you spoke to her, that what she promised you was never a viable option. But it's okay. It is okay. If you already accepted, I promise I can help you change that. I can try. We have resources here. Regardless of what you choose today, I need to bring you to one of the Argents. You need to speak to them. They need to clear you. It's just a safety protocol. Please don't take it more than what it is. I'll be there with you by your side, okay? I won't leave. And I won't let anything happen to you. They'll just want to ask you a few questions. And if you're as honest as you were with me, you should be completely fine. It's not like we can keep you here. You're not trapped. You're free to go at any time you want. I just ask that you come and have a conversation with Argent with me. Could you do that? Could you grant me that one wish? If you spoke to my sister, I'm sure she didn't give you any choice at all. I bet the only choice she gave you was what you could be, because she would have turned you into something anyway. If that happened, I'm sorry. And I will make it better. So, let's make it better together. Tell me, here and now, will you fight for us?